If you've been searching for a family fifth wheel and you're not considering this one, well, you're doing it wrong. Let me show you why. And I know what you're thinking, Ian, this isn't a family fifth wheel, it's a rear living, but honestly, that's where you're wrong because this is a mid-bunk floor plan. And if you're not familiar with them, in my personal opinion, this is probably the best fifth wheel layout if you can haul it. It's big, you have to have a big truck. But this is why it's great. As you kind of saw, we have that big rear living area, great seating, amazing kitchen island, thanks to the slides on both sides here. But you also get the bonus room, the bunk room, the office, whatever you want to call it, you have this additional space right in here. So you get the sofa with the slide out, plenty of storage in there, and a spot for a TV. So this is great for kids, if you have in-laws, even if you just want like a guest suite. If you want a great rear living, but you want a place where guests feel comfortable, they have their own room, which is fantastic. On top of that, we'll get into it when we go up the steps, there is an additional loft up here for more sleeping space. So again, if you have a few kids, this is gonna be teenagers all day. If you have younger kids, they're gonna love it up in that loft. It's like their own cool little space. But as parents or as grandparents, you still get the full RV. You still have your own bedroom, bathroom, and this great rear living area for when you don't have people staying, or again, if it is the family where everyone can congregate. So let's start off kind of on the campsite slide here. I'll work my way around to the kitchen in just a second. This is pretty quick and simple, but you can see that you have your dinette that does drop down into additional sleeping space, although it's not going to be good for adults, basically just kiddos. Electrical outlets there, big windows. That is something I want to point out about this Cougar. By the way, if it's not on the little graphic down below, this is the 2024 Cougar 368 MBI. And as I mentioned, this is a mid-bunk unit. But they call them panoramic windows, and take a look at the size of those. I mean, you have basically that entire slide out is all window, which is great. Dimmable lights right here. I'm not going to do it because it messes with the camera, but just know that these lights in the slide out do dim. And of course, the best seating in the house will be the theater seats, which are directly across from the TV. LED lights there, those do heat up, as well as have a massage feature. Then in the very back is the tri-fold sofa. So again, great for entertainment. You can sit here, talk, have a good time. If you want to watch the Lions kick butt again this year, you have a TV right there, so you're able to do so. And underneath is this beautiful fireplace, which not only looks great, but more importantly is the fact that it's nearly 5,000 BTUs of additional heat, assuming you have shore power or a generator to power it. Also on both sides of the sofa here, I do just want to point out you have your end tables there with some electrical outlets down below and storage above that rear window. I want to know what do you folks think? Everyone that's watching, I want to know, do you prefer having storage up here, even though it's a little bit tougher to reach, it's a little bit higher, or would you rather have bigger windows? I think it might depend on like what you have behind you, but I'm a big fan of having larger windows, but I also know that storage is at a premium in an RV. So if you're watching this, take a quick second and drop it in the comments, because that's something I can pass on to the manufacturer because I've seen it go both ways, and I'm curious what your personal opinion is. As we make our way kind of into the kitchen space here, so to speak, you'll notice a few different things. One is the fact that we have different colored wood, right? It's a little bit lighter than what we have in the back. I really like what they have done this year. I think it's a great color. You have nice pulls on here as well. And did you see that? One more time. Dun, dun, dun. We have slow close cabinet doors all the way around. Just kind of showing you some of the quality that's built in. Another thing I do want to point out, look how deep this drawer is. This is something, oh my goodness, that is a huge drawer. This is something I haven't seen any other manufacturers do. Love that they did it. Again, giving you all that extra storage space. True solid surface countertops in here. This is not thermoformed. It's certainly not T-mold. Love having the true solid surface. And obviously when you do that, you're gonna undermount the sink. You got the double stainless steel bowl there, drying rack on one side, cutting board on the other, high-rise pull-out faucet here too. Power tower over on this side. I do want to point that out because I personally really do like those. More importantly is the fact that this is an inverted outlet or pre-wired for that inverter. So if you do decide to have one installed or you upgrade your Solar Flex package, that will work even without having shore power. 3-burner cooktop with your glass cover. You have the drawer underneath. Also, you have storage underneath the sink, and this is a big one for me just because there is plenty of room for a trash can. It's one of those things that I always talk about, something I always want, space for trash can that has it. And you get 3 super deep drawers right over on this side. These are very deep usable ones. The top one obviously doesn't quite have the depth because you're going to have your silverware in there, but the ones underneath, I love that they are super functional drawers. And then rounding out the kitchen, you have a couple things. One is going to be the very large 12-volt Furrion refrigerator. You can see I have the fridge here on the right and then the freezer on the left. Now, I do have some people that are like, oh, you know, I want a true residential with an ice maker. I understand that, but I will tell you the issue with having an ice maker in a fridge is the fact that you have to winterize that, and it's not something that's very easy to do, and so a lot of times that's an extra payment because you have to pay to have it done. Not saying you can't do it on your own, I'm just saying there's definitely, it's definitely a little more involved. So I honestly really like the Furrion refrigerator in here. You'll also see that you have good pantry storage. That's something else that, you know, as we start to look at functional kitchens in a fifth wheel, we need to make sure we don't just have good drawer space, but also that pantry space. We did see the bonus room in there. As we come around the corner, I do just want to point out a couple things. One is the fact that you have the control for your fan. The other thing I want to point out is that we have both ACs on, and you can't hear them. And there's a reason for that. That's because this is the Blade AC system with your Coleman Mach quiet AC, right? And this thing is fantastic. A couple things. One, if you take a look in there, you can see it's actually a residential filter so that you can swap that out nice and easily. It actually works well. And the Blade AC system gives you 360 degrees of cooling at each of the diffusers, at each of the vents up there, rather than one straight direction. And on top of that, they also have more airflow than what they've had in previous years and pretty much every other AC out there. So just great AC system. Thermoplastic duct joiners, they're not going to break on you, I'm telling you. They do so much with the HVAC. Right up top here, though, is like the kids' paradise. This is the hangout. This is the loft up here. You can easily fit 2 kids, honestly, probably 3 with the size of this. You have 800-pound weight capacity. So even if 2 adults want to be up here, again, it's, you know, a little bit tougher to climb up just because of the space for an adult, but you do get the ladder, making life a little easier. The other thing I want to touch on is the in-command system. Love this system out of all touchscreens in RVs. This is honestly the only one that I really do enjoy. The rest of them are fine. They have some issues. The in-command system, especially the one that Cougar uses here, is far and above the best. But my favorite part of it is when we go to the HVAC, what you'll notice is, and you can see I have both ACs here, and they actually hit the set point. It's nice and cool in here. Love that. But more importantly is the fact you can schedule it. So it is a true programmable thermostat, and you can tie that to your cell phone. So even if you're not here, as long as you have internet in the fifth wheel, you can still be able to control that thermostat, which is great. As we step into the bathroom, more than enough space, plenty of room, great space for my knees, my shoulders. I'm 6 foot, about 210 pounds, porcelain bowl here, big linen closet right over to the side. I have the towel bar to hang my towels up on. Right over to the side here is going to be the shower. And I'll take a step in here just to kind of show you size. I mean, again, you know, 6 foot tall, even without that skylight, I still have some space. I could probably be 6'1". With that skylight, I mean, holy cow, I have space for days. I could be 6'3", 6'4", no problem. The hand wand, I can actually stand here. It's at a good height for my height, which is great. Stepping into the bedroom, you'll see the second AC. Again, this is on. Now, it probably will be slightly louder just because, I mean, it's right here. But again, that's pretty darn quiet, right? They do a fantastic job, and as you saw, it is 70 degrees even up in the bedroom, which is pretty darn good. We can see the bed is in a slide out, and on both sides, you have windows that open so you can get cross ventilation. And I really like what Cougar has done with the shelves. They put them up high. I don't know if you can see it, but there is an electrical outlet on the other side of it. So obviously you can plug in your cell phone, but that way you're not gonna hit it in the middle of the night. Some manufacturers will put shelves like right in the slide box, and it's just not good placement. Much happier with those. Then as we take a look at the wardrobe, the door here does have a mirror on it. More importantly though, if we take a look inside, great storage. They also have an electrical outlet in there, and that is inverted. So if you have a CPAP machine, that's where you can place it and have the cord come out. And over to this side is washer dryer prep. So if you plan on spending some time in here, which you definitely can because this is a 4-season capable coach. So, you know, if you're spending a whole bunch of time in here, you want washer dryer, easy to have that installed. A window to let in some natural light. TV goes here right above the dresser. And speaking of window to let in natural light, something I didn't point out was the one in the hallway. Aaron, if you want to just show everyone, look at that. That is a massive window, really helps brighten this space up. Lights all the way down. I'm telling you, if you're looking for a family fifth wheel, this one right here is one you don't want to sleep on. And I know it's beautiful inside. There's a ton of great features outside. So let's go take a look. Let's talk a little bit about the outside, go into some construction as well as the features on the 2024 Keystone Cougar 368 MBI. Right up front is the painted front cap, even though we can hardly see it because, well, we're at a show and you can see whoever parks these does a really, really good job. But more importantly, the fact it's painted means that it's going to have that luster. It's going to look great. It's easy to clean. Again, it might be tough to see, but there is basically a mirror right here. They call that hitch vision with a light right up top. So that way, as you are backing up, as you're going to hook up the fifth wheel, just gives you that added visibility to help line up your hitch with the Kingpin. Speaking of the Kingpin, you can see this one has the road armor. It comes with a pivoting head. So that way, as you start or stop the tow vehicle, that just gives a little bit of play so you get less of that jerking feeling. As we drop down underneath, a couple quick things I want to hit on in here. Well, maybe not so quick, but I'm going to get slightly technical. So one of the things I love about Keystone and Cougar, I'm going to talk about the battery disconnect. So you have one here for the main disconnect. The other one right up here is just for solar. You'll see this one comes with the solar. It comes with the 220 or 220 watt solar panel, the 100 watt charge controller on here. But with that, you have a solar panel disconnect so that you can just leave this on, turn this one off. You'll have power coming in from the solar, but you won't have any coming out. Every other manufacturer only has one, so that if you have power coming in, you're going to have a drain. Even if everything's off, there's still going to be a slow drain on it. Just the engineering behind this is just so much better than other manufacturers out there. I hate to say it, but it is true. You'll also see the tire over to the side. Although it does take up some storage space, protected from the elements there, it's easy to get to. And the battery box even, you'll see the terminals right up top so that if you have to disconnect the battery, you no longer have to, undo the entire box to be able to access it. You can do so right from the top. So again, they just do a lot of things that are just wonderful. You can see the place to tie up the dog if you have a fur baby coming with you. They're thinking about you right there. And underneath is your auto level system. So you have auto level jacks on here, touch a button, it will level itself out. So we take a look at the side. I do want to talk about a couple quick things. Mainly the fact is, I mentioned inside, this one is 4-season capable thanks to the climate guard. It has been tested from 0 to 100. It has great insulation. In that front cap, something I didn't mention, but behind that, you have a radiant foil. So as the sun's beating down on it, it helps reflect that heat back out to help keep that bedroom a little bit cooler, which is part of the reason we're able to keep it at that cool 70 degrees. But then your underbelly is fully enclosed, insulated, and heated, plus your valves are protected, and you have 12-volt tank pads on here, and all that combined allows this one to do quite well in cooler temps. You'll also see right over to the side here is one of your two 30-pound propane tanks, because hey, if it's cold out, we're going to be running some heat. We need to make sure we have propane. That right there is going to aid in that. And look at all of this storage. Wonderful, wonderful garage storage in here. A couple things I really, really like. One is that you have a whole LED light strip rather than just a single light. Helps brighten this space up a little more. You will also notice there isn't any vertical plumbing. Man, I don't know about you, but I certainly love that. That way you don't have to worry about hitting it as you're pulling things in and out. And then you have grip right down here so that things aren't sliding all over the place when you're going down the road. You'll also see the brains essentially for the in-command system. You do have mechanical buttons, little toggle switches, kind of give you a little bit of redundancy, some manual override, and on TV hookups here as well. Something that they do, if you notice, it's a little dirty. I need to vacuum that out. But you can undo this. That way you can drop your cords right down here and have them outside so that you don't have to have your garage storage door open. I also want to mention, watch this, ready? Holy smokes, it actually shuts the way it should. Why? Because this is quality components on this slam latch baggage door. You have metal components on here, not plastic. It has a lot of heft and weight to it, and it has magnetic catches, which I love, because that way it stays in place right where it is supposed to. Coming back a little further, we'll open this up again, a magnetic catch. And this to me shows that they are thinking. This is obviously your griddle. This is where most manufacturers would have it stop, right here. What is the problem? Well, the problem is you're gonna be cooking burgers and this is going to get disgusting. Everything's gonna just be everywhere all over here. What they have done is they actually put on an extension so that it comes out further. So that way you don't have to deal with all that. I love the fact that they thought that through, where so many other manufacturers wouldn't. Again, it just kind of goes to show you that Cougar is thinking about you and they're thinking ahead. Taking a step back a little further, we get into the Lippert solid steps. Just the name implies, they are nice and solid. And along with that, you get the MORryde safety rail, super simple and easy to use. You can see I can push down on this and it's not going anywhere. If I want to retract it, you just push in on the end, just like that. And it folds right up, it's magnetic. This normally doesn't go here, it's just sticking to the magnet, but the pin would go right in here. To deploy it, you pull it up and out, pull this part down, boom, good to go. If we take a look down underneath, I do want to point out a few different things. One is the fact you have Goodyear endurance tires. Now, if you've been in the RV world for a while, you know that that is a premium tire, and the blowouts are obviously the last thing you want to have happen. So the fact that it comes with a quality American-made tire, again, just kind of goes to show some of the quality they're putting in here. Right in between that, you will see the Road Armor suspension as well, which gives you 3 inches of travel. So that way it helps eat some of those potholes if you're driving in Michigan roads where I live. Along with that, right, just make sure that everything inside is going to be where it's supposed to be, not getting damaged when you arrive at your destination. Coming around to the back, and bear with me, we have some generators running, so it is a little loud because we are at a show here. But you will see the rear mounted ladder so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. Backup camera prep up there as well. 50 amp detachable power cord is right down here, and below that is the accessory receiver that can handle up to 300 pounds so that if you have a bike rack or something like that, you can slide it right in and be good to go. On the off-camp side is the convenience center with your water hookups as well as your valves. Again, as I mentioned, those are insulated, and your auto level control will be over there as well. I'm telling you folks, if you have a big truck and you're able to tow this, this is far and above one of the best family fifth wheel floor plans out there. You get that whole rear living area, you have plenty of sleeping. This is one you don't want to miss out on. If you're interested and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. As always, folks, thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.